Our main one was the time it took in the manual labour to be able to regularly on a weekly basis look at all whites performances and data in the leagues, only having 1 to 2 analysts here, but now with Axon, it's all auto-populated through the program that you guys have built. So it's a seamless process of just refreshing the platform and we get the data straight away. So my time and energy is spent now on analysing the data instead of just having to collect it. Yeah, very similar. Like everything in the game analytics before was all self-coded. So again, I spent a lot of time and manual labor coding team KP and individual KPIs. Whereas now Axon have been able to tailor that through the platform to make it the KPIs relevant to us. So mirroring our team and individual KPIs, but they're again self-populated from the Wiseguard data we script and the APIs. So saves me so much time as an analyst. And I know that the data is reliable because we've crossed paths with yourself and Ben, and working together means that the data that's populated is how we want it, and we can use it in a very quick, within 24 hours on tour after the games, to provide extra insight to the coaches and the players. The future goal and what we've started to trickle in now, thanks to the Axon platform, is that it can help selection process. We can use the data to track players' performances, which areas are they strong in their club, which areas are they weak in their club performances, and relate that back to the all whites game model. And then obviously when they come into camp, it starts with really good discussion points for me as an analyst when I do individual analysis with the players. So I might sit down with one player and we'll work on video and data based off a weak data point that we saw in the Axon player tracking, or we'll keep mentioning a strength and say we want you to bring this strength into our games because through the Axon platform it shows that you're really high in this. So can you integrate this into our game model? So it works in two ways. I would say it's mostly being used to support and guide individual analysis on tour with the players now to improve their performance on the field. Yeah, so we'll show them or we'll communicate to them, or it might even be if they're away at their clubs, a simple WhatsApp message, just maybe a screenshot or even just a message saying, look, you're doing really well in this area, or maybe this is an area of weakness, just to get a conversation rolling, and then we'll let the video take it from there. Every player has a different situation as to how much analysis they've been exposed to in the past, especially individual analysis. Individual analysis is very, I'll say, niche and new in the football world, but becoming more common practice. And from an international team point of view, as the lead analyst, it's something that I really value, and I think I can offer to the players from an outside perspective. I think the players, especially the younger generation, really, really grip onto the data and they know how to integrate it and take it considerably with their performances. And again, it just starts really good tactical conversations for us around their playing style. So I'd say especially the younger generation are really attracted to the data that's been produced. I think next steps is starting to form individual profiles and starting to set goals within. So we'll say, okay, this is what you've been achieving in this metric or data point. Can we start to push into this? So it might be 5 up to 10, 6 up to 8. An example might be we have a winger and we say, look, as part of your playing style, both in your club and all whites environment, we want to see your successful dribbles raised from 60% to 75% in the next 6 weeks. So we can start setting measurable goals through the data that correlate to enhanced performance on the field. And I think that's where it's going to go next, is setting those personalized KPIs, not just per position, per player. We can set goals based on each individual's playing style that, again, directly connects to the All Whites playing style and what Darren Bazley wants as a coach. Yeah, it's been pretty seamless. Like yourself and Ben have been excellent in what I'm going to call the gritty, hard data work behind the scenes. Really, for me, it's I have a look now, I tweak, I give suggestions to yourself or Ben, and it's fixed within 24 hours or even less. So it's a super seamless process in terms of integrating Axon, and then things that help with that are generally the visual aspects. Is it attractive for a player and a coach to look at, which the Axon platform is? Is it simple to read? Can we understand it? Is it scalable from one player to another or team against team comparable? So it's a super user friendly platform. So as a company, Axon made the process seamless. In terms of my analysis process, it's just enhanced add-ons for me. Like I would typically see myself, if I had to put a tag on it, as a tactical video analyst. So the data area is an area I've always lacked and haven't thoroughly stepped into as much. But by using yourself being an Axon now, I'm starting to learn as an analyst, and I'm starting to learn the power of the data and how I can use the data to start my tactical conversations and use as extra evidence as well. So from an individual analysis point of view, integrating Axon and the data has enhanced me as well and what I can offer to the players and the coaches. So we'll use the match reports will be integrated into our official post-game reports. So the match reports that Axon does, we'll integrate that into our All Whites match report or post-tour report now. Again, more saving me time, manual labor in the coding. What it allows me to do is deeper dive into the analysis that's already being produced by Axon. And again, it's been tailored to our KPIs. In terms of the player club tracking, I'll update the coaches potentially once every 3-4 weeks and do an overview of our players, where they're skating in their leagues and how they're skating against each other. So the coaching staff haven't had, and I don't think necessarily need direct access to Axon at the moment. That might be a step forward in the future, but it comes through me, and then I pass on the most important information to the coaches to inform them. If any questions come back to me, then I'll show them through the Axon platform and where the integration comes from. It's taken away hours, the literal hours of manual coding, and added on those same hours for more deep analysis, more insightful analysis. Why are these data points coming up? Because everything I do is in a time constrained manner. I need to produce reports, but I also need to get ready for the next opponent. So it allows me to focus on the big rocks and the most important thing, which is the data and why it's there. What is it showing? What's the rationale behind it? How can this data help us change for the next game? How can it improve on-field performance? What areas are we weak in? So I can ask all these bigger questions and do proper analysis as opposed to just manual coding. So saves me hours and adds on hours into more insightful research. I think having a template which is visually appealing, produced in a minimum time scale, and frees me up to do deeper research into our playing style are the biggest benefits. So I can very quickly look now after the game within 12 hours, 24 hours. I can analyze our playing style. I can analyze matches without having to spend 3, 4, 5 hours coding games and then going back and doing the analysis, which is a multitask. So if I was to summarize it, I would say it's a time-saving tool or a time-efficient tool. It allows me as an analyst to do more deeper diving research and insightful study to spend my time more wisely. But it also informs me and highlights areas that I might normally miss because being an Axon have added in certain statistics and data that I might not have thought of previously, such as the forward to back pass ratio. That's really insightful data for us from an individual point of view. So the scale of data that's being produced so quickly is not too large that you get lost in it, and it's not too refined that we're copy and pasting the same over and over again. So right now, it's a really nice balance where I know I'm getting what I want in terms of our team individual KPIs, but yourself, Axon, and Ben have also produced it in a way where there's flexibility and variability for new metrics to come in, which may tell us more story and give us more evidence linked to our playing style. And my last point would be everything we track in there directly comes from the coach's playing model and playing style. So we know it's all being used, and we know that every single data point is extremely important to us and will tell a part of the story. It just allows me to spend more time effectively on how we can win our next game and how we can improve individual performances. Yeah, access to this data and this service I now see as critical leading into all of our future games as an all-whites international team. It's an area which myself as an analyst and perhaps the team have lacked in the past. So it's an area of opportunity for us to grow. And I know that if it's used effectively to its fullest capability, it can have a really powerful effect on the players in the team, and it can really help us win football games. So my vision is to continue integrating these programs and these services, but delve into what's next and how we can get more out of it, because I understand there's a huge world and much more data that we could use in different ways to help us grow and be more competitive on the pitch.